Welcome back to the Cardboard and Cotton Podcast. Thank you all so much for your patience in between the first and second episode. Life has been, well, life. Happy to present to you all the second episode today of the Cardboard and Cotton Podcast. I'm Anquan Boldin. I chose Anquan for this episode partially because I did a little crowdsourcing and a lot of people voted for him on some Instagram story and Spotify poll. And Anquan was one of my favorite receivers growing up. He was just consistent. He wasn't always like the most prominent receiver, I would say, as he mostly played with other guys that just kind of may have outshined him in popularity, especially in Arizona with Larry Fitzgerald. But overall, like Anquan was just consistent. He was legit. And I thought, why not do episode 2 on him? So yeah. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. Thank you all again for your patience. I do appreciate it a lot. Anquan Boldin was born on October 3rd, 1980 in Pahokee, Florida. He attended Pahokee High School in Pahokee, Florida. He was a star basketball player and track and field athlete while also playing football as a starting quarterback, safety, and return specialist. So very versatile all-around athlete. In the 1998 Muck Bowl, which is the legendary high school rivalry game between Pahokee and Glade Central, both outside Palm Beach, Florida, some of the alumni include from both those schools, Pahokee being Boldin himself, Ricky Jackson, Norris Jenkins, and then for Glade Central, legendary running back Fred Taylor, Kelvin Benjamin, and San Antonio Holmes. Boldin on the opening play, assisted on the opening tackle of the game, and really injured his shoulder, but ended up only missing one play. And Pahokee ended up beating Lidster that game 34-14 and finished as state runner-up that year. He was named Florida's Mr. Football in 1998 before committing to Florida State University in 1999. He did convert to wide receiver at Florida State to get more playing time, despite how stacked the Florida State wide receiver room was during his tenure at FSU. So Bobby Bowden, head coach of Florida State, offered him to either go to wide receiver or running back after one practice at quarterback. And he chose wide receiver, despite how stacked the room was. And there was All-Americans Peter Warrick, Snoop Menace, plus Ron Dugans and Lavernius Coles at receiver. And the quarterback room was less than stacked because there was some question marks at who would be quarterback, especially in 99. But they did have future Heisman winner Chris Winkie at quarterback. And they ended up winning the BCS National Championship in 1999 as they went undefeated. Boldin did not play such a huge role that year. He only caught 12 passes that season, but alas, had a great collegiate career. He did tear his left ACL in a scrimmage just for the 01 season, and so unfortunately he missed his entire junior season. But he did bounce back his senior season in 02 to lead the ACC in receiving touchdowns with 13, and was named second team All-ACC and won the ACC Brian Piccolo Award as well in 2002. Featured on this slide that you have is a game-used jersey from 1999. The nameplate was removed, but it has been identified as a 99 game-worn jersey by Anquan Boldin as his number 4. And you can see in the picture as well that he wore number 4 throughout college. So pretty cool to see that, as there's not too many college jerseys floating around of Anquan. So it's pretty cool to find that. Moving on until the 2003 NFL Draft, he was drafted in the second round, 54th overall by the Arizona Cardinals. It was the same draft class as Andre Johnson, Terrell Suggs, Troy Polamalu, Jason Witten, and so many other NFL legends of the 03 draft class. He wasn't even the first wide receiver taken by the Arizona Cardinals, as there was a trade between them and the Saints. So Bryant Johnson was the first receiver taken 17th overall in the first round by the Cardinals. And then later, obviously, in the second round, Boldin was taken as well. Boldin definitely was the highlight of that trade as far as being the most prominent name involved based off those draft selections and everything. The cards featured, you have his 03 press pass and 03 press pass autograph, plus the Topps All-American corner down the bottom corner. So overall, the sick-looking card, especially the one on the bottom, it's just kind of a throwback and homage to a simpler time of football card, especially looking like the and everything. Just a really cool card in general. Going into 03, in his NFL debut, he had one of the greatest NFL debuts of an NFL player, if not the greatest NFL debut by a player ever, even to modern day. So he set an NFL record with receiving yards in a debut game with 217 yards on 10 receptions and 2 touchdowns versus the Detroit Lions, which also ended up being his career high in receiving yards. He set then NFL record of 101 receptions in a season by a rookie, since many players have passed that. But He was named a Pro Bowler that year, NFL Rookie Team First Team, and Associated Press and Pro Football Writers of America Rookie of the Year, plus Sporting News Times Rookie of the Year as well. All around, Anquan was just a freak. I mean, just a freak athlete, especially in his first season. Not Javon Curse kind of freak, but just he was just such a great athlete and such a prominent player for a Cardinals organization that just really seemed to be struggling coming up in the early 2000s. I mean, come on. They had like late 30s Emmett Smith at running back. They couldn't have been that good. Nothing against Emmett Smith, as I love Emmett, but quite frankly, just maybe not the guy you want leading your running game at that time. As far as the cards go and everything, running top left corner, you have your 03 tops. 03 tops pristine out of 1,499. And then you have the platinum medallion in the bottom right corner, Fleer Ultra out of 100. Definitely a cool looking card. As far as the medallion cards, and I think I have another one featured later in the slides, it's just, those are just it's a hard print run to find all of them. And then even going to the left, you have your 03 Donruss Elite Aspirations out of 19, just especially with the edges on those cards. As you can see, both are die cut, very condition sensitive, very hard to find good, either graded copies or just good copies that are raw, not graded yet. Moving on into 04, he did have a right knee injury in training camp that led him to be inactive for the first 6 games. So he really didn't follow up with such a great sophomore campaign. That was a same year Larry Fitzgerald was drafted out of Pittsburgh in the first round. So his play was going to diminish a bit anyway, as the Cardinals are trying to revolutionize their offense a bit for a much more passing attack. But alas, still not the greatest sophomore season, unfortunately. As far as the cards go, starting on the top side of the screen, you have your 04 tops. I like the design, pretty simple, nothing too crazy or flashy. 04 score, and then starting on the bottom from left to right, you have the 04 Fleer Sweet 6 Sweet Stitches Red. I like the colorway on it. I like the white patch and then the red like kind of border on the card and everything. I think it really makes it pop. Another platinum medallion right there next to it, the Fleer Ultra. This one's out of 66. I like the action shot against the Rams. It looks like the Rams. Just having him diving and everything like that. It looks really cool with the ball and everything. And then you have your 04 Fleer EX Clearly Authentic Signatures Pewter Dual Jersey out of 41. Just a really cool card. I haven't seen, obviously there's not a huge picture presence. It's typically most sports trading cards, you have a good picture presence of an athlete. And this one, it's very, very small, but you do have dual patches and an autograph on there, so I think that's pretty legit. And easily, this could be one of my favorite cards I found in researching Anquan, is easily the 04 Fleer inscribed black border red out of 5. Not only is it very short print, super short print even, I just love that old kind of like, it's almost like a 90s baseball portrait kind of style card. And it's got the black border with the red accents on it. That really makes it pop. And it's just a really pretty card. What else can I say? It's just really impressive. Going into 05, he led the NFL that season with 100.1 receiving yards per game. Definitely a career stat for him for sure. And as you notice as his seasons progress, especially as he plays more in full seasons, I mean, he was just consistent. He was just putting up a good 1,000 yards a season. He was just being very, very consistent. And some of the hallmarks of Bolton's career, which is how consistent that he was, no matter whether he was injured or no matter who he was playing with, the quarterback player or whatever, he just was consistent. He became part of the third duo to each have over 1,300 receiving yards in a single season. Obviously, the part of his duo would be himself and Larry Fitzgerald. The other 2 duos would be Mark Clayton and Mark Duper of the 84 Dolphins, and then Chris Carter and Randy Moss of the 98 Vikings. And then he signed a 6-year, $23.5 million contract extension during that season. And it just because he played for the Cardinals has got to make me reference Jerry Maguire, the movie Jerry Maguire with Rod Tidwell. Show me the money, Jerry. And all around, just really impressive season, and he well deserved for Boldin as well. You have his 05 game worn Cardinals jersey. I just love the white, the black, the red accents, and the black accents too on that too. Growing up, for one Christmas, I was gifted and I think it was probably like a McFarlane like action figure it was fully like posable and everything, and it was of Edgar and James on the Cardinals. And it was one of my favorite like toys growing up, just because there was so much you could do with it. It was just cool just to see him move. But it had that same style jersey with the main white on the body and then the red shoulders and the black accents. It just looked really cool. As far as the cards go, you have the 05 tops. You have the 05 Topps Finest X-Fractor on the bottom. And then the signatures, it should be a sweet spot signatures. Yes, upper deck sweet spot signatures out of Boldin. Some people are not as a huge fans of the sweet spot signature, whether it be a baseball or a football or in this case the helmet. But I think it looks really neat. I like how they present it well on the cards. So I particularly did a really good job with that. I have a few of those in my collection myself. None of Boldin, unfortunately, but just overall just really cool to see. Heading into '06, he became the fastest player at that time to record 300 career receptions in only 47 games. He was named to the NFL Pro Bowl as well, and as you can see, consistency with over 1,000 receiving yards, full season of 16 games at that time. And then going to the cards, this was the first year that I was gifted at Christmas a Topps football card set. So the '06 Topps is just really sentimental for myself. Next to it, you have the '06 Sports Illustrated for Kids, also sentimental for myself as I started getting that magazine that year. I got it by Topps early in high school. So I always had all the cards, had all the poster. I just thought it was just really neat. And obviously a good action shot of him against the Panthers is just really cool to see. Moving on to the bottom of the screen, you have your '06 triple threads with him, Fitzgerald, and Anquan Boldin, the safety. I love the framing of the patch and everything. Obviously, there's just a square patch on the back, but just how the framing of the ARZ, the letters and everything, I think it looks really nice, really neat. The turkey red next to it with the white background and the red patch, that just really makes it pop. And you can't go wrong with Bowman Chrome, '06 Bowman Chrome, the gold refractor on that out of 50, and then your Topps Finest refractor out of 399. Nothing too crazy there, but overall, just really sharp, pretty cards that are pretty valuable depending on who you got. So that's pretty cool. Heading into '07, he was named offensive captain of the Arizona Cardinals, and he also became the fastest player to record 400 career receptions in only 67 games. He had a career high with receptions with 14 against the Baltimore Ravens that season. And as far as the cards go, I like the Facsimile autos and everything with '07 Topps. You have the '07 Score Red Zone. I think I wanted to include that because the Red Zone is part of the Cardinals Stadium. I think it was State Farm Stadium at one point, still might be. But I just love how the Red Zone was emphasized on that scorecard specifically, which is really cool. Another triple threads card featured there with Leinart, Boldin, and Fitzgerald. That one's out of 27. And then the nice autograph playoff episode memorabilia Absolute Heroes 25 chunky game use patch and the autograph. I think it looks really cool, really sweet. I'm not a huge fan of sticker autos myself, as most people aren't. But I do like seeing an autograph on a card, especially when it's got a nice chunky patch, game use patch on that too. So it looks pretty cool. Heading into 2008, though, he also became the fastest player to record 500 career receptions in only 80 games. '08 was a heck of a season for him, though, as he had many career highs. He had a career-long reception of 79 yards and a career high of 3 touchdowns catches versus the Miami Dolphins in week 2 or week 3 that season, I believe. He was knocked unconscious from a violent helmet-to-helmet hit versus Eric Smith, the safety for the New York Jets, unfortunately. Now, if you ever look up that clip, it's a heck of a clip. He genuinely was knocked unconscious, and he was severely injured, but he did come back to play later that season, and he became part of the fifth trio of receivers to have 1,000 receiving yards each in a single season. So the receivers for the '08 Cardinals team, as a memorable team for myself as well, was Fitzgerald, Boldin, and Steve Breeston. The other trios being Kellen Winslow Sr., John Jefferson, Charlie Joyner of the '80 Chargers, Art Monk, Ricky Sanders, Gary Clark of the '89 Redskins, Eric Metcalf, Terrence Mathis, Bert Emanuel of the '95 Falcons, Marvin Harrison Sr., Reggie Wayne, and Brandon Stokely of the '04 Colts. Kurt Warner captained that team, and that offense was just electric. I believe you had Edge at running back as well. And I think he's featured on the jersey card too. It was just a heck of an offense. And they ended up going to the Super Bowl. He was named to the Pro Bowl too, but did not participate as the Cardinals were NFC champions and went to the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They did lose, unfortunately, but I mean, just a heck of a season, heck of a game. The highlights of that game, I remember being 7 years old, and it was just such a great Super Bowl, a great game, very memorable for myself, especially being a little kid. So the '08 Cardinals, I love the '08 top specifically. I love just like the word font on the top. I think it looks really nice. You have the '08 Topps Mayo next to it with a little red jersey patch. Going down from there, you have your '08 Bowman Chrome, gold refractor out of 50. And then '08 should be '08 Leaf Limited with quads of Fitzgerald, Boldin, Edge, and then Leinart, not Warner, unfortunately, out of 100, as Leinart was drafted to be the franchise quarterback in '06 and just never really panned out too well. Heading into '09, he did suffer a sprained left ankle late in the regular season and missed both of Arizona's playoff games, including the thriller in Arizona against the Green Bay Packers, 51-45 victory. overtime, I do believe. I remember coming from back home from a bowling alley and watching watching the end of that game, and just being just enamored with just how cool the NFL was, and it still is. You know, that's really just really got me hooked on football for sure. Feature on the right side, you have his uh, game issue jersey. It is signed and everything, especially in the blue ink with the red jersey. Nothing too crazy about that, but really just I love the Reebok jerseys. Don't get me wrong, I love Nike. I work for Nike, but those Reebok jerseys are just nostalgic. They just hit different, and especially the early 2000s, mid 2000s, before Nike took over in the early 2010s, like they just creme de la creme, just perfect. As far as cards go, you have his '09 tops. '09 Topps Unique, which is in the green with him and Fitzgerald, a little patch there, the dual patch at a 79. Two gold refractors next to it. You have the Bowman Chrome at a 50 and the Topps Finest at a 75. Two really sweet cards to have, especially nowadays. Definitely cool to have. Heading to 2010, however, he was traded on March 5th, 2010 to the Baltimore Ravens. He was also the fastest player to record 600 career receptions in only 96 games, and did tie a career high in touchdown receptions with 3 versus the Cleveland Browns in Week 3, which led him to being the AFC and NFL Offensive Player of the Week that week. Featured is the purple jersey. Should be the game from the game where he reached 600 catches, 600 receptions. So pretty cool to see that, especially the gloves there too and everything. I love the purple. I love the Ravens purple. It's really cool. It's pretty good Clark. And one in 2010, you have a 2010 Topps base card. And then the 2010 Black Unrivaled Plate 101. I love printing plates. Call me crazy. I don't care. Printing plates, despite being 101 still, I think they look cool. They were production plates, obviously, to make those trading cards that we all love. And I just think it's just really cool to see printing plates. Next to it, you have your 2010 Supreme Black out of 25. Overall, just really cool cards and really cool jersey feature. In 2011, he has revenge game against the Arizona Cardinals, who had just traded him a season prior. He had 7 receptions, 145 yards, and a 30-27 victory that year. So really nice to see Boldin just stepping out on his own and continuing just to dominate cornerbacks and safeties in the NFL. It was also the same season. I'm sorry, Ravens fans. I know it's going to be dramatic. When Billy Cundiff missed the 32-yard field goal. With 15 seconds to go, they would have sent that game to overtime in the AFC Championship game against the Patriots. Yeah, no other notes on that. I just Bolden was there. Had to bring it up. Sorry. Featured also in the slides, you have his picture of the 10th anniversary of the 9/11. So he's got the ribbon patch on his white Ravens jersey. Just pretty cool to see that. And then you have a few Topps cards featured on top. No pun intended there. You have a 2011 base, your 2011 black border out of 55, very condition sensitive, and a 2011 red border from Target out of 77, also super condition sensitive. Hard to find good clean copies of those cards. I have a few myself, and they're really condition sensitive, especially on the edges and corners. It's really important for that. And then you have your 2011 score, and then 2011 Rising rookies with the gold background, black jersey, black Ravens jersey just look perfect. And the purple jersey swatch. So pretty cool stuff there. 12. Nothing too crazy of a note, other than they were Super Bowl champions against the San Francisco 49ers. On the right side of the screen, you've got his practice use jersey from 2012 with the Ravens. And then on the left side of the screen, you know, catching a touchdown pass early in the game versus the Niners defense. He had 6 receptions, 104 yards, and that touchdown, of course, and a 34-31 victory over the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 47. Featured on the card, you have his 2012 Topps, 2012 Prism, and a quick note about Prism. Back then, I thought Prism was the coolest thing. I thought it was better than Chrome. I still think that to this day. Huge fan of Prism. Back when the 2012 Prism was released, I bought a box, and I think I pulled a Mark Barron gold out of 10. I don't know what I did with it. Obviously, I did not make the money on it that I probably could have. But just such a cool, pretty product to have, especially that era. Andrew Luck was a rookie that year, RG3, Brandon Whedon. But really just cool stuff all around. 2012 5-star Chunky patch from the jersey number, and a 2012 Finest gold out of 50. Just really neat stuff from 2012. Going at 2013, he was traded on March 11th, 2013 to the team he had just beaten in the Super Bowl, the San Francisco 49ers. In the inaugural NFL Top 100 voted on by the players, he finished 93rd. He also was the NFL Player Association Alan Page Community Award winner. And it was the last season for San Francisco in Candlestick Park before they moved to Levi's in 2014. The picture on the bottom of the page is him running out on Candlestick Park for the last time that season. During that same season, it was the championship game versus Seattle, where Crabtree-Sherman rivalry really hit its or the ultimate peak, I guess you could say. It boiled over a bit. The feature on the cards, you have your 2013 Topps, 2013 Leaf Limited, a Field Vision, and I have one of those cards in my collection where his visor is just literally like a piece of plastic, and it's kind of like a thicker card, so they can fit the plastic in there. But just a really cool card in general. I think it's nothing too crazy, but it's just pretty cool. You also have your 2013 Panini Certified Mirror Gold at 25. And this is also one of my favorite cards I also saw while researching Boldin on ComC. 2013 Topps Museum Collection Copper Signatures out of 50. I love museum. I love the border on it. The copper really pops on with the jersey and the accents of the 49er colors. And it's rated BGS 9.5 out of 10. What else is there to say? It's just a pretty card. Pretty card. Move on to 2014. As for mentioned, first season at Levi's Stadium. Nothing too crazy big. You do have his game used jersey. It is signed off to another player. The 49ers white. So pretty cool stuff there to see. Feature on the cards, you have a 2014 Topps, 14 Crusade Rookies and Star Crusades 999. I love how the colors also match. That's why I found a lot of the Boldin cards that I was able to find was whether he was with Arizona or Baltimore or San Francisco, or even if you look at some of his Lions cards, and there is no Bills cards, but as we get to that in a little bit, you'll see just how the cards it match well with the colors on the jersey and the cards themselves. So pretty cool stuff to see. You have the Mirror Gold at a certified out of 25, and then out of 20 should be memorabilia, the anniversary card in the bottom right corner right there out of 20. So pretty cool stuff for Boldin. Heading into 2015, though, he was named the prestigious honor of the NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year Award. So congratulations to Boldin. It truly is a testament to him and his foundation, the Q81 Foundation. I mean, he's just humanitarian for sure. Such a legend on and off the field. Should be a Hall of Famer. Hopefully he gets in pretty soon. That'd be pretty cool to see. As far as the cards go and everything, you have your 2015 Topps, 2015 Score, and 2015 Clear Vision with Kaepernick and Carlos Hyde. Oh, I've not thought of it in a minute. Clear Vision, when it dropped, I was all over it. I got into so many breaks at the time that I could, and I think I picked up like 3 Austin Safarian Jenkins autographs, and it was stupid. I don't know why. That's what I got pulled in the box breaks. That's what I got stuck with. Nothing too crazy. It is a memorable time for myself, so it's pretty cool. In 2016, he signed as a free agent with the Detroit Lions. His main quarterback was Matthew Stafford, so pretty cool to see Stafford and Boldin link up. He chose to wear 80 instead of traditional 81 due to the recently retired Calvin Johnson. So major respect for him for doing that. As far as the pictures go, just some cool action shots. Him on the ride at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. So yeah. Going in 2017, he did sign with the Buffalo Bills August 7, 2017. He played 1 preseason game with 1 reception for 5 yards and retired a few days later on the 20th. As he wanted to focus more on his humanitarian work in the Q81 Foundation. And such a lovely quote by Boldin. My life's purpose is bigger than football. And isn't that true? As much as I love sports, and as much as I love the games and the hockey, the baseball, the basketball, all the sports, life's purpose is bigger than that. And it's important to really display and show care for others. And I think that Boldin really exemplifies that. So thank you, Anquan. I appreciate that greatly. I know we all do as well. And then heading into the stats and everything, the information, they got some stats information for you all, the sources. Cards from Florida State 03, 04, and 05. Cards from 06, 07, 08, or most of 08. Cards for rest of 08, 09, 2010, 2011, and 2012. Cards for 2013, 2014, 2015. And then you have your jerseys going forward from there. And then last but not least, just thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it so much from the bottom of my heart. We got YouTube. We got Spotify. We got an email, because why the hell not? TikTok, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Reddit. We got it all. So please reach out, engage, ask questions. Let's just talk. Let's yap. I love yapping about sports. I'm really wanting to make this more than just what it is now. And I need your help. So please, if you're out there, you're listening, say something, reach out, talk to me. I'm happy to talk ball and share what I know and learn what you all know. It's important to me that we do this together. So thank you all very much for tuning in and listening. I appreciate the feedback. Any and all of it is appreciated. The next episode will be on NBA players. So mention some suggestions, give me some ideas. I got a few ideas in mind, but I really want to hear what you all have to say as well. And yeah, so thank you all so much for tuning into the Cardboard and Cotton podcast. I appreciate you all very much. You all take care and have a great day.